Today I'm going to show you how I turned this electronics project box into this ghost trap for my kids to play with. My kids play as Ghostbusters every single day. They grab their proton packs, their neutrino wands, and they just run around the house, busting ghosts all over the place. It is exhausting. But you know what? As a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, I am so happy to see them get such joy out of my absolute favorite franchise. It is really cool to see. Now, my daughter's proton pack is one that I made myself. And if you're wondering, yeah, of course there's a video of me making it. It's right up there. My son, on the other hand, has a near-complete set of Hasbro toys. So that's the proton pack, the PKE meter, the neutrino wand, and even something called a ghost whistle, which doesn't actually show up in any movie, but hey, cool. He likes it, and that's what matters. But conspicuously missing from that list, you may have noticed, there's no ghost trap. You can't find a ghost trap toy right now that is made for kids under the age of 10. It does not exist. You cannot get one. So what's the deal, Hasbro? Are you afraid of making money?
Shut up and take my money!
When I was my son's age, I had a ghost trap toy. Because back then, in my day, toy companies knew how to make money. The toy company in particular is Kenner, and they made a real Ghostbusters ghost trap, and it was a simple design. The pedal was a little squeeze bulb that just shot some air through a pneumatic tube, and that operated a piston inside that would just bloop, pop open the doors. It was awesome. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Kenner was bought out by Hasbro, so that means any patents, like design patents that they might have, would now belong to Hasbro. Also, Hasbro is the exclusive rights holder to the license to make Ghostbusters toys. You have the patents, you have the rights to make the toys. Where's my ghost trap? What's your deal, Hasbro? Now, look, because there is a gap in the market, those old toys are selling for insane amounts of money. A broken ghost trap sells for $70. $70. And if you try to find one new in box,
that's a little rich for my blood.
Now, I had one when I was a kid. I loved it. I kept it in great condition. When I moved out 17 years ago, it seems like my mom might have sold that toy at a garage sale, and I do not have it to pass along to my son.
A great opportunity squandered? Absolutely.
So if I can't buy a ghost trap toy, that's fine. No big deal. I'll make my own. Also, no big deal, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Just do it. Now, the main design challenge to this project is making something that will actually survive being played with every single day by my two kids under the age of 4. They're not exactly gentle with toys, so that's going to be a pretty big challenge to overcome. 3D printed parts tend to be a little bit brittle, right? So if I'm talking about FDM 3D printed parts like most of my printers produce, well, they have weakness, specifically when it comes to layer adhesion. There are things you can do to mitigate those things. You can kind of work around those limitations, but it only goes so far. So I want to use as little 3D printing as I possibly can. That's why I'm using this injection molded ABS project box as my main body. And then I'm 3D printing some things on top of that. Still ended up being a decent amount, but wherever I do 3D print, I made sure to orient them in a way so that I can maximize their strength and again, use them in non-structural parts as best I can. So that said, let's take a look at the design. The next major challenge was a mechanical one. How am I going to open and close those doors? So my first thought was to just do it the way that Kenner did 30 plus years ago. I could utilize the pedal as sort of like a stomp box or a squeeze bulb, send some air through a pneumatic tube, and operate an air piston inside to open and close the doors. I actually went so far as to model, design, and even print a test of that little air piston. And you know what? It works. Now, here's the funny thing. Before I started filming, it didn't work that well. Like it's been a problem for me. It's been sticking, and I felt like it was going to be a lot of extra work and post-processing to make this smoothly operate like it should. And then, of course, there's the difficulty of trying to make sure that the entire line, all the way back to the pedal itself, is all airtight, so I don't have leaks all over the place. And that sounded suspiciously like torture.
Challenging. He means challenging.
So I'm just going to use a servo, okay? I wanted to avoid electronics in this project because I don't want to replace batteries all the time, but I'm not smart enough to come up with a purely mechanical solution, so this is happening, okay? This is just what I'm doing. Live with it. Now, to control that servo, I'm going to use a Raspberry Pi Pico. I'm going to run it off of 3 AAA batteries, and the pedal is going to have a momentary switch to power the whole thing. It only took 13 lines of code in Python to make a script that actually works, that does the thing, where press the switch and servo arm goes up, let go, servo arm goes down. And then I made a mechanism with just a couple of arms that should open the doors when it goes up and close them when they come down. So, with all that designed and ready to go, I'm going to print out this prototype, assemble it, and I'm going to test it and see if it's functional. Okay, I think this is working. Stuff is working well enough at this point that I can go ahead and print out my final parts, assemble them, tweak them, paint them, run some wiring, solder some stuff. It's actually kind of a lot of work, but for you, about a 2.5-minute build montage. Assembly actually went remarkably smoothly, so now it's time to take a good look at it. I am so happy with the way this thing turned out. It looks really good, and it works. What else could you ask for, right? Now, the most important thing is it looks like it's going to be able to hold up to a bit of play for my son. And while it may not be movie accurate in terms of its looks, it looks enough like a ghost trap that my son recognized it even when it was just parts on my desk. That's awesome. Now, if you want one of these for yourself, I'm going to go ahead and post the files for this over on My Mini Factory as well as on Thangs. And so there's going to be links down in the description. I'm also going to throw a link down there for the project box that I used if you decide you want to use that. But hey, don't feel pressured to go out and buy anything, because I'm also going to include a model of the body itself with the files over on My Mini Factory and on Thangs. I actually modeled it for myself to make it a little easier to visualize when I was building everything else, and I thought, what the heck? If you're not worried about making it durable enough to survive some kids, 3D printed is the way to go. That is the end of this video. I am out of here. Now, if you could just do me a quick favor, subscribe to this YouTube channel, throw a like on this video, you'll automatically become my favorite viewer of all time. And it'll be a lot easier for you to see me next time I do this. Until then, bye. You afraid of making money? 'Cause I got some for you right here. Is this doing it for you guys? Are you subscribed for this kind of content yet?